Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from Monday, May 5th to Sunday, May 11th, and I'm using this Pink Planner Shop printable kit called Music Lover. I think that's what it's called. And this is the reformatted version. I also purchased the original, but I never got around to using it. I don't know, but I saw this one. And honestly, it looked so much better to me. I liked the boxes more. I liked everything about it more. I think maybe even the color scheme is slightly different, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. Point being, like, it just looked so much better to me. And since printable kits aren't really that expensive, I think it was like $3, I went ahead and bought the new version. So now I have two. It is what it is. I did look at the original kit because I was thinking if I didn't like these full boxes or if I liked one of those more, I could replace it or swap it out, but I didn't. I ended up not using any of that kit. So, oh well, it's like $3 gone. It's fine. But as far as everything with the kit goes, I'm pretty happy with it. I tried not to use too many Fashion Girls, but I ran out of boxes and Fashion Girls aren't too offensive, so it's fine. I'm not gonna lie, this is not my favorite color scheme. I'm just not a fan of the fuchsia and the turquoise. I don't know why, it's just not my favorite, but I do think it's a really pretty kit, and that's just a me thing. I'm sure a lot of people like pink and blue together. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I'm okay with it. As far as plans go this week, nothing really happened except that I went to 2 concerts, which is why I decided to use this kit for this week. I went to a concert on Friday and then another one on Saturday. The one on Saturday was planned. The one on Friday was not. It was a spontaneous thing. What ended up happening was Joe and I were in the car driving somewhere. I have no idea where we were going, but a friend of ours said in a group chat, he was jokingly asking everybody, he was like, hey, does anybody want to go see Marilyn Manson for $11? And so Joe was like, where is he playing? Turns out he's playing, it's like a 10-minute drive from Joe's apartment. It's an 8-minute walk from my apartment, which doesn't matter because we weren't at my apartment, but like it's so close to us. So we get back home, we're like kind of thinking about it. We're not really sure. And we're like, are we going to regret not going to see Marilyn Manson? Like, that's got to be a spectacle. And the tickets are so cheap. So we ended up getting tickets on StubHub for dirt cheap. We couldn't believe it. It was like we had to go. And we ended up getting a parking spot right outside the venue. Like it was meant to be. So we ended up going. And we didn't see the opener, thank God, because apparently they were awful. We ended up finding our friend, and he got like box seats or whatever. So he paid a little bit more, but we were able to sit with them. The security guard didn't like ask to prove whether or not those were our seats. We just sat there. So we got even better seats than what we paid for. And it was really cool. I know Marilyn Manson isn't the best human, and I shouldn't support him, but I'm sorry, it was really cool. It was fun, and I'm old. I got to go to a concert where I had a plush seat. It was nice. It was, and yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I went. Then on Saturday, we went to Baltimore to see Boston Manor, and this actually worked out great because here's the thing. Boston Manor was playing in Philly on Friday, and we thought about going to the Friday show. Ended up going to the Saturday Baltimore show because Joe's best friend lives in DC. And if you know more about geography than I do, I wouldn't know this if I didn't live here. I'm terrible at geography, but Baltimore is, it's a little bit closer to DC, but it's as in the middle as you're going to get for a concert venue between Philly and DC. So we decided to go to Baltimore so that we could go to the show with Joe's best friend. And it just worked out so well because we were free on Friday night to do something spontaneous. And the show was really good. And actually, so I know nothing about the band Turnstile. Apparently they're massive. I don't know. It's not my scene. I have no idea. But I think they're from Baltimore. And that day, and I've seen the footage of it, they had like a free Turnstile festival picnic show looking thing. There were so many people there. And I think that worked out in our favor because the venue where we were seeing Boston Manor is tiny, not air conditioned, and even with we had space. We had a little bit of space, but even with that, it was still pretty crowded. And it was one of the craziest mosh pits I've seen in a while. I've seen my fair share, but this one was pretty crazy. And there were a couple guys in there that were huge. And it was pretty scary because the mosh pit was taking up most of the floor. And so it was really hard not to get hit. And there was also this crazy girl who kept crowd surfing and then stage diving. So I think she did it 3 times. And then her boyfriend or some guy she was with did it once. And the lead singer of Boston Manor was helping her on the stage because, she was fucking crowd surfing, and then she would jump it back into the crowd. And then when her male friend did it, he almost dropped him because I guess he wasn't expecting to help this guy. He thought the guy would get on the stage himself. It was a mess, but it was really fun. The band sounded great. And then after the show, we ended up chatting with the drummer of Boston Manor about Marilyn Manson. And he was really, really nice. He was very nice. So it all worked out. And then other than that, it was Mother's Day, I guess. So I think that's it. So let's just get into the day by day. Starting with Monday, the first thing I marked was that I got no sleep, and I used a brain tired sticker from Stick with the Plan Co. With this Sticky Perks egg, I marked that I crushed one of my eggs. I usually make hard-boiled eggs to go in my lunches, and one of my eggs was rolling off the counter, and I caught it with my hip. And so you can imagine, it didn't end well. I got egg all over me and the floor and the counter. It just went everywhere. I don't know why I thought I could my hands were full. So I tried to catch it with my hip, and then it crushed. I crushed it with my hip. So that was disgusting. Then with this Fox and Cactus Scroll, I marked that I did a full body workout. With this middle finger munchkin, I marked something about work that I'll just keep to myself. Nothing bad. Okay, I'm not going to keep it to myself. I won't say details, but the gist of it is I am so sick of my job getting more and more and more micromanagey. It's a fact. People do not like to be micromanaged, and they don't do well when they're micromanaged. Anyway. It ended up being fine. It was a mistake on my job's end. So it's fine. It's not something I'm going to have to worry about, but for a moment I was really fucking pissed. Then with this laptop from Scribble Prints Co., I marked that I watched YouTube. With another Stick with the Plan Co. Lottie, I marked that Joe called. Then with the Sticky Perks book, I marked that I read. And with this face mask from somewhere, maybe this kit, I don't know, I marked that I got terrible sleep. So I guess the face mask doesn't really work for that, but whatever. And moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked was that I had to wake up really, really early because the only appointment I could get at my orthodontist was at 8:30 in the morning. Or was it 8? Shit, I think it was 8 a.m. I think I marked this wrong. I did. I wrote 8:30, but my appointment was at 8 fucking a.m. And it's past my office. So I had to walk. So my office for me, because I'm a fast walker, it's 27 minutes to my office. Then the orthodontist is another 10 past that. So I wanted to give myself 45 minutes to get there just in case. Well, I ended up walking so quickly that not only was I able to stop at my office and put my lunch in the refrigerator and put my backpack down in my office, because I had yogurt and it was, I don't know, I'm very weird about leaving dairy out of the fridge for too long. So I had time to do that, walk to my appointment, and I was 20 minutes early. I couldn't believe it. I was 20 minutes early. I don't know how I did that, but I'm just so stinking fast. So I used this emoji to mark being 20 minutes early. Then with this rabbit hole handcraft sticker, I marked that I had my appointment and I wrote 8:30. Then with this beautiful mess, something like that, I don't know, this sticker, I marked that I had work. Then with this munchkin from Once More with Love, I marked that I went to Blick during my break because I was trying to find, I still hadn't given my my best friend her birthday gift yet because there was a specific item I was looking for and it said it was in stock at Blick. I even placed an online order, but their online orders are weird if you've ever placed one before. You place the order and then an associate, I think, will either call you or email you, I don't remember, and then you go to the store and you pay at the store. So like you don't technically buy it online, you just request it. And to this day, it's June 9th. They never got back to me. So anyway, I walked to the store and they did not have what I was looking for, even though it said it was in stock. And it didn't even say low stock. It said it was just in stock. I don't know, maybe they're in the back, who knows. Then with this Prairie Planner shoe, I marked that I walked 13,000 steps this day. With a Fox and Cactus Girl watching TV, I marked that I watched Twin Peaks and pulled stickers. And then the final thing on Tuesday with a Sticky Perks book was that I read. Then on Wednesday, the first thing I marked was that I was in office and I used a Fox and Cactus Girl for that. With another one of these art munchkins, I marked that I went to Blick yet again, and this was my final attempt. They didn't have it, so I ended up giving her, I added something else to her gift instead. Then with this Fox and Cactus weight, I marked that I did a chest workout and walked 10,000 steps. With this leftover deco to-do list, I marked that I had a really long to-do list and I accomplished a lot this night. And one of the things I did was pack my lunch. I never mark that, but I have these pack lunch stickers, so I decided to use one. Then with this pumpkin paper coterra, I marked that I did the dishes. With this, is this Fox and Cactus or Prairie Planner? I don't remember, but anyway, I wrapped my friend's gift. Then with this Erica G Designs camera, I marked that I filmed. And then the final thing on Wednesday with this little Prairie Planner TV was that I watched YouTube. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked with this Coffee Monsters Co. sticker. This is like a transparent, translucent, washy type sticker, but I think this was one of my freebies that I got with my last order. But it just says a long week, and that's true. I thought it was Friday. And it wasn't, so that was pretty sad. Then with this Prairie Planner fire sticker, I marked that we had a false fire alarm at the office, and I got really excited because my boss told us to take our stuff with us because the last time they had a fire alarm, they were locked out of the building, or they were like kept out of the building for a really long time. So if the fire alarm went on longer than 10 minutes, we were going to get to go home to finish working. Unfortunately, it turned off pretty fast. It was on long enough for me to completely pack up my bag and like turn off my computer, wrap up my headset, all that. And then I had to unpack everything, but oh well. Then with this Coffee Monsters Co. sticker, I marked that my best friend met me after work outside my office and we went to Trader Joe's together. With a Trader Joe's bag from Once More With Love, I marked that they had all of my things. They had everything I was looking for, which has not happened recently, so that was nice. They had my burritos. I think I got 3 packs of them because I hadn't seen them at this location in a while. Then with this sweaty emoji, I marked that it was just so hot out and I felt so gross. I ran into the shower, like a cold shower when we got back. Then with this Scribble Prints Co. monitor and this Papershire notebook, I marked that I watched YouTube and filled out my spread. With this Sticky Perks nail polish sticker, I marked that I did my nails. And then with this Papershire TV sticker, I marked that I watched Twin Peaks. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that I felt really weak all day. Like I couldn't even really talk very quickly. I just felt sluggish. So I used a sluggish emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Then with this zombie working emoji, I marked that work was just really hard because I was not functioning very well. Then with a Papershire book, I marked that I read. With a Papershire fast food sticker, I marked that Joe and I went to Shake Shack because they were having that deal. If you spent X amount, you got a free milkshake. I personally don't really like their milkshakes. I used to love their peanut butter milkshake, was amazing, and their salted caramel, but they haven't had either one of those flavors in a really long time. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think they have the worst chocolate shake ever and the worst strawberry shake ever. Then with this leftover deco of tickets, I marked that we got the cheap tickets last minute. With this squidge on stage from Stick with a Plan Co., I marked that we saw Marilyn Manson last minute. Then with this Netflix munchkin, I marked that we watched Black Mirror, and that was it for Friday. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked with a Red Bull from Design Ski Sticker Co. was that I got no sleep the night before. I just slept awful. I don't know why. I've just been sleeping terribly. Then with many stickers, with this Carly Plants RX bottle, this Prairie Planner shoe, and this Piper Paper Company pretzel and Oreo sticker. I marked that Joe and I walked to CVS to pick up my prescription, and then we went to Auntie Anne's because he had a coupon and he wanted to try the new like Oreo pretzel bites or whatever. So that's what we did. Then with this Prairie Planner car, I marked that we drove to Baltimore. With this Shocked Munchkin or emoji, I can't remember, I marked that I had to end up using this really gross bathroom. Nobody had a public restroom, and I had to pee really badly. So I walked with Joe's friend to this like cafe that was on the corner, and the guy let me use the bathroom. The women's room was out of order, so I had to use the men's room. And at first I was horrified because I took a picture of it. I was so disgusted. It's not as bad as you think. Now I'm like hyping it up, but I look up, and on top of the paper towel dispenser, there's the roll of toilet paper, and it has a dark brown shit stain thumbprint on it. Clearly, someone had some trouble wiping themselves, and I was freaking out because I was barely holding my piss. I had to go for the last like hour of the ride, and I think that the ride was only like an hour and a half. It was pretty bad. Luckily, I found another new clean roll of toilet paper, but I felt disgusted even after I washed my hands. Thank God they had like real paper towels, but after I washed my hands, I still had to use hand sanitizer. It was disgusting. Then after the gross bathroom, we got some subpar pizza. They enjoyed it. I didn't. I just didn't think it was good. Then with this concert sticker, I can't remember where I got this, but I ended up slicing the word concert off of it and just using it to mark Boston Manor. And then with this emoji, I marked that we stayed up until like, what time? Can't even read this. Oh yeah, we got home at 1:40 in the morning, so we probably went to bed around 3 a.m. Then moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that I had to get ready really quickly because it was Mother's Day, and my grandmother on like Tuesday or Monday or something like that, she was like, what do you suggest we do on Sunday? Like, she didn't even ask if I was free or anything. She just assumed that I would come for Mother's Day, which I was sort of expecting, but still, like, you're not going to ask. So I asked her, like, if my mom was free, and she had checked with my mother. My mother was free, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll make it work. So I had to get ready really quickly because I needed to go buy flowers because I hate buying flowers. I think it's the biggest waste of money on earth, but I know it's a nice thing to do. So Joe and I drove to Trader Joe's, and I picked up 2, what are they called? Bouquets. They're not really big. They're like clusters things of flowers, and I just used leftover deco to mark that. Then with this Olive Studio sticker, I marked that we met for Mother's Day. Joe came with me. He wasn't going to see his mother. His mother's in West Virginia. Then with this emoji eating pizza, I marked that we ended up getting Italian, and I was pretty disappointed. The baked ziti was not good, and that's usually my, like, I really like the baked ziti from this place that they order from, but it wasn't good. Luckily, the pizza was good. So I marked having better pizza, which I was happy about because I love pizza. Then with this Aldi Stick with a Plan Co. sticker, I marked that we went grocery shopping. With this Stick with a Plan Co. busy doing nothing sticker, I marked that I had time to rot, which was really exciting. I get really anxious when I have to go see my family because I feel like no matter how early I go, I still get home at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. But we managed to get home at like a decent hour, and I had time to just relax. Then with this news emoji, I marked that there was finally some good news. I can't remember what it was. It was like, I can't remember what state it was, but basically a Democratic candidate beat out a Republican candidate, and it was, I don't know, it was just good to hear. Then with this Prairie Planner TV, I marked that we watched Black Mirror, and that was it for this week. But, oh, also, I did want to say, I don't know if I can keep up with a video a week because I don't know if you noticed, not last week, but the week before, I didn't post a video. I've just been way too busy, and I'm also trying to get back into my other hobbies. So I don't know what I should do. I was thinking of maybe doing like a video every other week, or if I skip a week here and there, it's not a big deal, but then I'm gonna fall really far behind. So I was also wondering, like, can I just do more talk-throughs? I know they're really long and sometimes boring, but it would save me time and I wouldn't get as far behind if I didn't have to do voiceovers all the time. I would still do voiceovers because I think those videos are better. Who wants to watch an hour-long video when they can watch a 20-minute video? But I don't know. Just let me know what you think. Either way, I'm still going to post. I'm still going to try to keep up, but I think I will fall a little bit behind because, like I said, I do want to spend my free time doing some other things, and I just don't have a lot of it. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.